How are we doing, guys? Always to be. I bet you didn't think you were going to see me again today. So I'm sorry to disappoint you guys anyway, but absolutely fantastic news coming out of Ellen Road today. Jack Harrison has signed for Leeds United again for the third season consecutively on loan from Manchester City with a view to a permanent move. So guys, it's absolutely brilliant news. Look, it's not totally unexpected news. We had an idea Jack Harrison was very likely to come back to Leeds. The fact he was on the ESPN 5 days ago talking about Leeds United wanting to go better than Sheffield United did last season. Make sure you check out that video as well. That was an absolutely top-class video, top-class interview, and it told you everything about Jack Harrison as a person and why you want that kind of player at this football club. And that's the exact mentality. He always wants to improve. You know, the fact he's talking about going one step ahead of what Sheffield United did last season, rather than just merely talking about avoiding relegation, sums up the mentality of certain players who want this football club. We want the whole team to be thinking that they can go to the Premier League and play without fear. And that's what I really like about Jack Harrison. You know, he's a top player. But I'm just going to go to the statement first of all from Leeds United. So it's a bit hastily put together this video, guys. It was unexpected. I did say in the Transfer Daily, maybe there'll be more news later on today, you know, after the Clipper announcement first thing this morning. I didn't quite expect it to be a signing, so it has caught me out a little bit here, guys. But I'm delighted to be putting this video together anyway, guys, because it's good news on a Monday night as well. Good Monday night vibes anyway. So basically, the statement from Leeds United, I'm not going to read it all, I'm just going to go through the rough bits anyway. So, Leeds United can today announce Jack Harrison has rejoined the club on a season-long loan deal from Manchester City, with a view to a permanent move. Harrison has spent the last 2 seasons on loan at Ellen Road, making 91 appearances and scoring 10 goals in all competitions. The 23-year-old has been capped by England at under-21 level, featured in every game for Leeds last season, providing 8 assists and scoring 6 goals. As Marcelo Bielsa's side, if we didn't know already, won the Sky Bet Championship title. So yeah, he was a critical player last season, wasn't he, Jack Harrison? For me, he was our best attacking player. You know, of course, we can talk about Pablo, but for me, Pablo's more of a midfielder now. But in terms of out and out forwards and that lot, wingers and strikers, Jack Harrison was levels above everyone else for me. You know, in the fact he's got 6 goals, 8 assists, playing on the left-hand side as a left-footed player, it's a massive disadvantage in the modern game. You know, the angles are all against you in terms of getting goals and getting assists because you've only got really one option when you're a left-footed player on the left-hand side. You can only really take a player on down the outside to an extent, and you're more limited in terms of getting goals. But that doesn't matter to Jack Harrison because he reads the game so well. He's got a great footballing brain. He's got an absolutely fantastic footballing brain. He reads the game fantastically well, both defensively and going forward. He knows when to make runs. You know, he's our most dynamic player in terms of making runs in behind. Obviously the pace, ability to take on players, he can play left, he can play right. He's going to be a top quality player, Jack Harrison. He's going to be a top quality player. He already is a top quality player, but he's just going to improve more and more and more. You know, you don't have Jack Harrison's mentality and attitude and dedication to football and not go and improve more and more. You know, and the other elements of his game which I really like is the way he defends as well. He can defend, he can press, he can help his fullback out. He can help Stuart Dallas out at left back. Make sure he's not exposed in the 1v1. You know, he can come back and help him in a 2v1 in Stuart Dallas's favour. And that's massive next season. That's going to be absolutely massive, you know. When Mo Salah, Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, etc., Marcus Rashford, etc., are all running at us next season. You want players who are going to come back and defend and help us and have 2v1 situations in our favour. You know, when you've got wingers who are willing to put in a defensive shift like Jack Harrison is. And for me, he could potentially be our most important player next season because, let's be honest, he's just very good at football, Jack Harrison. He's just very good at football. I mean, look, his first season, we know his first season didn't quite go to plan, but he works on it. From the minute that Derby game finished. You know, he's going to America. You know, he's bulked up a lot. You know, he's put on a hell of a lot of muscle. You know, and he's just worked on the physical side of his game a lot. His physicality looks a lot better. He looks in much better shape. You know, probably the best shape of the whole team, to be fair. I'm not really sure I'm going this one anyway. But the point is, his dedication. His dedication is second to none. And let's go to Jack Harrison's statement after the news was announced that he was rejoining the football club. So this is from Jack Harrison himself. So, I'm delighted to be back and I'm excited to get going in the Premier League. We know as a group it's going to be a challenging season, but we're more than ready for it. So, quite a brief statement of Jack Harrison. But you know what? If you watched that ESPN video 5 days ago when Jack Harrison was covering Fulham Brentford, you will see from Jack Harrison's response that he is confident going into the season. The whole team is confident going into the season. We don't just want to make up the numbers. We don't just want to survive. We want to go into the Premier League and make an impact and make an impression and upset the apple cart a little bit if we can. Let's try and play some teams off the park that we're not technically supposed to do. Be able to play off the park. So that it's a very impressive signing for me. I think the big thing as well was the view to a permanent move. Because Jack Harrison, if he has a good season next season, he's looking at a 30, 40 million pound player there easily. If he makes an impression in the Premier League like he has in the Championship, and I don't see any reason why a player of his quality won't. He has all the attributes. I've mentioned it before. He can take on players in the 1v1. He makes runs in behind. He can create chances. Most creative player in our team last season, created more chances than Pablo. There's not really, and defensive contribution as well. There's not really much doubt for me that Jack Harrison is going to have an impact in the Premier League. He's probably one of the most confident players, one of the players out of all the squads who are most confident will make the step up to the Premier League quite easily. I just think he's got that quality. He's got so much quality to his game. And I think obviously when we talk about wingers and Leeds United, in recent years especially, we talk about Snods, Max Gradle. I think he's probably the closest we've had in the last 10 years to that kind of player for me in terms of wingers we've had at the football club. In terms of what he can bring, and he's not. To be fair, if he gets a few more games from the right hand side, I think in terms of goals and assists, his output's not going to be too far off Snods and Max Gradle. And yeah, I think he's just an absolutely immense footballer. And it's great news, isn't it? Obviously, we're very much talking about Ben White, but this is good to get this one over the line too. And yeah, it's a massive boost. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you're thinking on this one. What you are thinking on this one. Is Jack Harrison walking into that team? For me, one of the first names on the team sheet. And yeah, it's just great stuff. But as I was saying before, I've got slightly off track there. But the view to a permanent move means that it kind of protects us that if Jack Harrison does well next season, if Man City then want to keep him, we have got the head start to an extent. Or if other clubs want to sign him, say Wolves, for example, Leicester, if he has a good season next season, there is going to be interest in him. But we have the head start. We have first refusal to an extent. So that is great news as well. That's almost as important in terms of a long-term perspective as actually bringing Jack Harrison back in. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think the other good thing is that we're saving transfer budget for this season. Of course, if we were signing Jack Harrison now, we're looking at 10, 12 million, possibly even going that high. So we are saving that potentially off the budget, and we've got that extra funds now to spend on other players. So it's quite intelligent of Victor Orta in terms of the deal he has managed to put together. I think it works a lot in our favour. It's much like the Helder Costa deal last summer, from my understanding anyway. I might have read it wrong, guys. Apologies if I have. But yeah, I think it works well. I think obviously it allocates our funds for other players quite well. And obviously next season, hopefully, if we have a successful one this season, if we manage to stay up, make an impression, have a comfortable season, mid-table, it just gives us that, we can just just throw the 10, whatever the agreed fee is, or if there is an agreed fee, we can just allocate that to then making this a permanent deal. And yeah, I think we're well protected. It's not going to cost us if Jack Harrison does well. It's a bit like Ben White. Obviously, Ben White, if we had that loan with an obligation to buy, it would have massively helped us last summer. We didn't, and now it's making us doubt we were going to sign him on a permanent because he's done so well at Leeds. Last season, his value's gone up 5-6 times, and possibly that could happen with Jack Harrison, but we have protected ourselves against that, guys. That is the key thing. But absolutely buzzing, guys, absolutely buzzing with this news. He's a top lad, top quality player, and it's the exact mentality we want in this football club. And he's becoming a leader in this team too. So I'm absolutely buzzing, guys. I absolutely love the fella. Absolutely top class news. Monday night, top class vibes on the Monday nights. Guys, make sure you check out my Transfer Daily from this morning if you haven't done already. Some top quality news. Potentially Amadou Diawara from Roma being linked. Hudson Edouard's been linked as well. Trying to remember who else we've been linked with. But yeah, check out the video, guys. There's been that many different links over the last couple of days. We will endeavour to produce daily transfer updates, and there's going to be plenty of content coming out in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days as well. In fact, thinking about it, I probably am going to put out a cheeky little LUFC Investigates video on a certain Mr. Jack Harrison. Make sure you check out for that later on in the week when I get a chance to put that together, guys. But guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight or this morning, whenever you're joining us. I don't know whenever you're joining us. But if you joined us tonight, make sure you have a great Monday night, and hopefully this is the start of a fantastic summer transfer window for Leeds. I'm going to leave it there, guys, anyway. I've been Oscar. Thanks very much for watching. See you later, guys.